Hello YouTubers, musicians, and video game enthusiasts out there, like myself. This is going to be a video on how to play a very special song from the video game Minecraft. It is called Sweden, and it was released in the very first version of Minecraft. It is a game that is growing in popularity. It started out on the PC, and it's moved to various consoles like the Xbox, the PlayStation, and various others. Even mobile phones, which is pretty cool. I play the game myself, and the song Sweden is a very beautiful song, and it's originally played on piano. However, it has been converted to guitar, although most versions of it now you have to tune your guitar down to, I think, C, but I never do it anyway because I find it easier to just keep it in standard. And that's what this is the difference between this video and the other ones. This is a video on how to play it in standard. So without much further ado, let's get started. So you start with, of course, standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, and E. And either you can use just your fingers to pluck the strings individually, or you can use a flat backing technique by using a pick and your fingers together, but I prefer to just use my fingers because it's a lot easier. And you want to start by plucking the low E, the D, and G strings together, so it makes a sound like that. Seems simple? It's not. After that, you want to put your first finger on the second fret of the low E, and then make a D chord formation, only without your finger on the high E here, so. And along with your thumb being wrapped around to the third fret of the low E string. Now, this might take some practice to be able to get used to a formation like this, but it shouldn't be too hard, especially if you have long fingers like I do. And you want to pluck the G string, the B string, and the low E together, and then move your first finger to the second fret of the A string and pluck it. And then the next formation will be putting your first finger on the second fret of the G string and your index finger on the fourth fret of the D string and plucking it along with the low E. No, plucking it along with the A, sorry. And then you want to take your middle finger and pluck the third fret of the low E, and then slide your fingers up to the 7th fret on the D string and the 6th fret on the G, and pluck those two strings along with the A string. So that looks like. Now the majority of the song will be repeated like this, very much the same, only you will be adding certain notes. So then next time around you will be plucking more notes than before. So this next time around you want to pluck the low E, the G, D, G, and B. And then do the same second fret, and then make an actual D chord and pluck the third lowest strings, G, B, and E, along with the low E. And do the same second fret, and then this formation will be the same as before, only you want to move your middle finger to the second fret of the B string right next to your first finger on the G string. And then you want to pluck those three strings, there's four strings in the middle, so A, D, G, and B. And then third fret of the high E. Same formation here, only you will move your first finger here to the 5th fret of the B string and pluck those four strings. So that looks like. I might want to practice this a little bit because it is somewhat hard to get used to, but skilled guitar players like myself won't have very much of a problem with this. Now, the next formation, you will be doing those exact same chords, those exact same formations, only in between each one, you will pluck certain notes together. So, in between them. So what you want to do is, same thing. No. Oh, right. You do you pluck the low E, the D, G, and B at the same time. Only this time, you will move your first finger, the 3rd fret of the low E, and your index finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th fret of the high E, and pluck those at the same time, and then move your pinky to the 7th fret of the high E. And then back to the D formation. So that looks like. Same D formation. You do after the third time over of plucking the plucking the D chord, sorry, you will pluck the B string and the high E, and then back to this formation, so fretting the low E, and then that time you will be, sorry, and then after that formation you will be putting your first finger on the 2nd fret of the high E, and then to the 5th fret of the high E, and then back to the stair formation, which is pretty much a G chord. No, that's an A chord. Sorry, an A chord. You could just do an A chord, but I prefer that. And after that, let's see, that and that altogether looks like. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated. After the 4th time over, you will be plucking these same strings together, only you will be including harmonic notes into them. So you will be placing your finger, whichever finger you want, onto the 7th fret of the G string and just plucking the string, and it rings out. You do that with the entire fret, 7th, 12th, and 5th. It's the most prominent. And in this case, you will be plucking those, going to the 7th fret of the G, the 12th fret of the B, and then the 7th fret of the D. So that's, and then back to the D formation, and you do the exact same formation from before. And just continue, and the next time over you will be doing the same plucking, only you will be moving up here, and what you want to do is bar your fingers on the D, G, B, and high E, and as well as placing your index finger on the 10th fret of the high E, and you will pluck those all together. And what you can do, if you prefer to do it, is you can bar your entire finger across it, because you will be plucking this note right after, but I just move my finger because I find it's a lot easier. And then after this, it gets a little bit tricky again, more harmonic notes. You have to pluck the 7th fret of the B string and the 12th fret of the high E, so that looks like. And then you want to put your middle finger on the 9th fret of the high E and the 10th fret of the B, and you want to stretch your first finger way up here onto the 10th fret of the low E. And actually, if you prefer, you can just put your thumb, wrap your thumb around to this part here and do that, but that is the next pluck. You pluck the B string, the high E, and the low E together. So that looks like. So that formation goes. That's how the formation goes. And then after that, you want to pluck the 10th fret of the high E and then the 9th fret of the high E. So, and then you will do another barring formation on the last 3 strings of the 5th fret, which is the G, B, and E. And then you want to move your middle finger to the 6th fret of the G string and your index finger to the 7th fret of the D string and pluck the G, B, the D, G, B, and E all together. So that's. And then after that, you do the exact same formation again, only you reverse this. So you go back to the D formation, and instead of going this time after you do the reversal here, you also do the reversal here. So that looks like. No, sorry. Same formations. I'm not changing any of the formations here. And then here's where it gets a little bit trickier again, and I will be cutting off this video and starting a second part of this teaching video because we have hit our cap.